with Kamilla Cardoso and Angel Reese starting practice. It's a big birthday week for Kamilla Cardoso. She turns 23 on Tuesday. Cardoso, Reese, and everyone else wasting no time getting acclimated ahead of their preseason opener Friday on the road against Minnesota. So we've got new stars, plus a new coach in Teresa Weatherspoon. It's a new situation for everyone involved, including top 10 draft picks with lofty expectations.
The Chicago Sky might be making headlines for their coaching drama, but something even bigger is brewing on the court. Angel Reese has just sent a warning shot to the rest of the WNBA, making it clear that her partnership with Kamilla Cardoso is about to take the league by storm. This duo has the potential to be the most dominant frontcourt in the WNBA, and their chemistry is only just starting to develop. How dangerous can Reese and Cardoso be together? And what does this mean for the future of the Sky? Let's break it down. Despite the turmoil surrounding the Chicago Sky's offseason, including the shocking dismissal of head coach Teresa Weatherspoon, there's no shortage of optimism when it comes to the Sky's young stars.
Sky have fired Teresa Weatherspoon after one season. Julia, I will just start blanket neutral reaction to the news.
Yeah, definitely. It was kind of a slow rolling, sometimes a breaking news story does just drop all at once. This was a little bit of a slow rolling, could feel something building up throughout the week type of situation. But I think, honestly, this is one of those decisions made where you kind of have to.
At the heart of this excitement is the powerful frontcourt duo of Angel Reese and Kamilla Cardoso. While the team may be grappling with uncertainty in the front office, this dynamic partnership is set to take the WNBA by storm, with Reese herself issuing a clear message to the rest of the league. Watch out! During a recent episode of her podcast, Unapologetically Angel, Reese spoke candidly with WNBA legend Sheryl Swoopes about her excitement for the future. When the conversation turned to her partnership with Kamilla Cardoso, Reese didn't hold back. We're two different positions, and I think people don't realize down the road we're going to be really, really good together. We're just warming up.
How do you like playing alongside Kamilla?
It's been good. People think a lot of things I don't like when people compare us as well.
Yeah, but they have to do that.
For what?
They don't have to, but they do. They have to.
We're two different positions,
Yes.
and I think people don't realize, down the road, we're going to be really, really good together.
This statement has sent shockwaves across the WNBA, signaling that the partnership between Reese and Cardoso is only just beginning, and it's already terrifying opponents. Reese's remarks come as both players are fresh off impactful rookie seasons that saw them battle through adversity. Reese, dealing with a wrist fracture late in the season, still managed to set a new single-season rebounding record.
I really know how to I know how to get the ball to Kamilla better than anybody else. I just know where she likes it, and I think just being able to build her confidence and being able to continue that, hopefully we can stay together for a really long time. But I know, moving forward and going into the next season, it's going to be crazy because we'll have a better feel for each other.
Yeah.
I'm going to be better. She's going to be better at things that she does. Me being able to space out more and being able to give her room down there and she giving me room, it's going to be good together.
Yeah.
While Cardoso's defensive prowess, particularly her shot-blocking ability, made her one of the most feared defenders in the league.
We want to write our own story. You just said it the best that you could possibly say it, and we just want to write our own story. We have two incredible young women they've come from great programs. They're champions. They're winners. They know what it takes, and they know what it looks like, and they know how to carry themselves. Greatness looks different. Greatness speaks different, and we always speak about this. If you want to be good, this is the wrong team to be on.
Together, they form a lethal combination of scoring, rebounding, and defense. And with another offseason to further develop their chemistry, the sky's the limit for this duo, pun intended. Standing at 6'7", Kamilla Cardoso is an absolute force in the paint. Her shot-blocking ability, she averaged 1.4 blocks per game in her rookie season, makes her a nightmare for opponents attempting to score at the rim.
Smother City in Chi-Town.
I don't know what Dejanay Carrington was thinking. Did he not know that Miss Cardoso is 6'7" and got all ball at time?
Cardoso's physical presence alone gives the Sky a defensive anchor that they can build around. But her skill set extends beyond just blocking shots. She alters opponents' game plans, forcing them to think twice before driving to the basket. Reese, in her podcast discussion with Swoopes, highlighted how she and Cardoso complement each other perfectly on the court. While Reese thrives as a low-post scorer and dominant rebounder, Cardoso's ability to clean up defensively and protect the paint allows them to play off each other seamlessly.
Just being able to come in here and not make any excuses, because everybody in here is just fighting to be on a team and just fighting for greatness. So coming in here, I didn't have the mindset to just be tired. I had the mindset of just going to work every single day and figuring everything else out later. So I'm just happy to be here in this moment.
The duo's ability to balance each other's strengths gives the Sky a well-rounded and versatile front court that can dominate both ends of the floor.
Yeah, it's been a crazy past 3 weeks, but I feel like I'm ready for it. You know, I just wanted to experience all. We won the championship, I wanted to go to the parade, and then I had the draft. It's been amazing, it's been crazy, but I had time to rest and come out here and just play. So I'm just happy and excited for everything that's happening.
While defense is a huge part of what makes Reese and Cardoso such a dangerous duo, their offensive potential is equally exciting. Reese has already established herself as one of the top rebounders in the WNBA, averaging 13.6 points and 13.1 rebounds per game during her rookie campaign. But what makes her even more dangerous is her evolving offensive game. Reese has hinted at expanding her range, and if she can consistently knock down shots from beyond the arc, she will become nearly impossible to guard. Cardoso, while primarily known for her defensive abilities, is also starting to develop her offensive game. She's shown flashes of her post moves and mid-range game, and with Reese feeding her the ball in her favorite spots, Cardoso will have plenty of opportunities to showcase her scoring ability.
I am thrilled that we were able to land our exact targets. I haven't been in the business long enough to understand how often that happens. I would assume not too often, but I can tell you, with all honesty, we got exactly who we wanted. Defensive player, athlete, 6'7", interviewed incredibly well, learned how selfless she was, learned about how much she was doing for her family and how much that meant to her to be able to take care of them. And that's the type of player we want here. Angel Reese, she is one of the best competitors I've ever watched. And that's what we want here. We want every player to mirror that type of energy.
Reese herself mentioned during the podcast that she already knows where Cardoso likes to receive the ball. And that kind of on-court connection is exactly what makes dynamic duos great. The WNBA has seen plenty of dominant front courts over the years, but the combination of Reese and Cardoso has the potential to be something truly special. Their ability to complement each other's strengths and cover each other's weaknesses makes them one of the most dangerous tandems in the league.
Angel Reese. It's Reese and Cardoso. Back together, baby.
Yo, I like it.
Chicago has a lot of post players, but I think if they transition her a little bit more where she can play like a 4, especially because they have so many 5s, I think that'll be really helpful for them. They got good point guards who can give her the ball. She's good on defense, great rebounder, shot blocker. I think it's going to be a fun team to watch. They have Marina, a lot of personalities on the team for sure.
The 2024 season was a rough one for the Chicago Sky. After finishing with a 13-27 record and missing the playoffs for the first time since 2018, the team parted ways with head coach Teresa Weatherspoon. The decision to fire Weatherspoon after just one season was met with heavy criticism from fans and players alike.
That's not how it went for Weatherspoon, right, Rima?
No, Weatherspoon has been let go. And it comes after, she led the team, I think, first time since 2018. Not to the postseason. And so that certainly was probably a factor in letting her go. And it sounds like, our star player, Angel Reese, has been pretty upset, devastated by that.
Oh, yeah.
With Reese expressing her deep sadness over the move. She described Weatherspoon as an unsung hero who helped her navigate the challenges of her rookie season.
What has she meant to you?
She's meant everything to me. I mean,
Love you, kid.
I've had amazing coaches in my career, but this one is like special. She understands with me off the court. She understands me on the court. She believes in me. Shots that I take that she wants me to take, she believes in me that I may not believe in myself. So being able to come to the league and feel at home, being able to be here. I remember sitting on the computer and talking to her.
Despite the off-court turmoil, the Sky's future remains bright thanks to their young core, headlined by Reese and Cardoso. With both players set to take on even bigger roles next season, the Sky have a strong foundation to build on as they search for a new head coach. The next hire will be critical for the team's success, as they'll need a leader who can help Reese and Cardoso reach their full potential while guiding the team back into playoff contention. Adding even more intrigue to the situation is the involvement of WNBA legend Sheryl Swoopes. During her appearance on Reese's podcast, Swoopes was asked by Reese if she would ever coach her one day. Swoopes replied, "I would love to. I would so love to work with you." At the time, it seemed like playful banter, but in light of Weatherspoon's firing, the conversation has taken on a new meaning. Swoopes went on to say that she would be open to working with Sheryl Carter as well.
One day?
Would I coach you one day?
Yeah.
I would love
Hot
to.
take.
I would love to.
Would you be our coach?
I wouldn't be
Would you
your
go to
coach.
the WNBA?
I would love to.
T. Like,
yeah. I would so love to work with you.
That'd be great. I love that too.
And I love to work with Kitty Carter.
Another rising star on the Sky's roster. Could Swoopes be hinting at a future coaching role with the team? While there are no confirmed reports, the timing of the conversation and the firing has sparked plenty of speculation. Some fans are already imagining what it would look like if Swoopes took over as head coach of the Sky, leading a young and talented roster that includes Reese, Cardoso, and Carter. As the Sky move into this new era, Angel Reese will play a critical role not just as a player, but as a leader. At just 22 years old, she's already one of the most recognizable faces in the WNBA, and her influence extends far beyond the court. Through her podcasts and her social media presence, Reese has become a voice for her generation of players, and she's using her platform to advocate for her teammates and the league as a whole. Reese has embraced the leadership role that comes with being the star player on a rebuilding team, and her chemistry with Cardoso is just one example of how she's looking to elevate those around her. As Reese continues to grow as both a player and a leader, the Sky's future will be shaped by her ability to guide the team through challenging times and push them towards success. Angel Reese's warning to the rest of the WNBA is clear. The Sky are just getting started. Her partnership with Kamilla Cardoso is already showing signs of greatness, and as they continue to develop their chemistry, they have the potential to take the league by storm. With the Sky in search of a new head coach and the drama surrounding Sheryl Swoopes only adding to the intrigue, Chicago is on the verge of a new era. Reese and Cardoso have the talent, the drive, and the chemistry to lead the Sky to the top, and the 2025 WNBA season is shaping up to be one of the most exciting yet.
It's going to be nice, though. I think getting out of the spotlight and just getting to live my life and do things that I want to do, and not have to sit. And I love talking to all of you, but it's going to be nice to not have to sit in front of a microphone, multiple times a week. I really appreciate all of you, but it will be nice to kind of get away and relax for a little bit. And I appreciate everything you all do as well. So I thank you.
You got me down again.
Caitlin Clark's potential departure from the WNBA to play in Europe has shocked fans and analysts alike. While her frustration with the league's physicality and officiating has been well documented, a deeper factor may be at play: the rising racial tensions within the league, specifically tied to Alyssa Thomas's recent accusations. Could this racial controversy be the final push for Clark to explore opportunities overseas? Clark's rookie season was undeniably electric, with her breaking records, lifting the Indiana Fever out of irrelevance, and propelling the WNBA into the spotlight. However, this meteoric rise came at a cost. From facing brutal physical defense to controversial no-calls, like Dijanai Carrington's infamous eye poke, Clark has felt unprotected by the league's officiating. "I feel like I'm getting hammered, and opponents get away with things that other players don't," she said in an interview after the Fever's heartbreaking playoff exit.
Yeah, I think just being competitive is who I am. It's what I've done my whole career. I think at times there's ways I can probably channel it a little bit better, but that's just basketball at the end of the day. That's never gonna change. I'm never gonna lose that. I feel like I'm getting hammered. I don't know. I appreciate Christy getting the tech too.
While the physical toll alone was draining, it's becoming evident that the environment in the WNBA, beyond the court, has been a growing source of frustration for Clark. And nothing exemplifies this more than the recent racial controversy stirred by Alyssa Thomas. After the Fever's playoff elimination, Alyssa Thomas took the stage not to discuss her team's win, but to accuse Caitlin Clark's fan base of racism. Thomas claimed that in her 11-year career, she had never experienced such vitriol, implying that Clark's sudden rise to stardom is somehow tied to racial bias.
Honestly, it's been a lot of nonsense. I think in my 11-year career, I've never experienced the racial comments from the Indiana Fever fan base. We had her face on a serious matter that happened in this world, and it's unacceptable, honestly. And there's no place for it. And
Thomas stated, indirectly linking Clark's popularity to her predominantly white fan base. This wasn't just a comment on trolls or online hate. It was an accusation that essentially targeted the league's new fan base, many of whom had started watching because of Clark's presence. Thomas painted a picture that Clark's success and the attention she received were products of race rather than talent. For Clark, this must have felt like the ultimate slap in the face. After working tirelessly to prove herself on the court, she now found herself at the center of a racial debate she never asked for. It's not difficult to see how this racial narrative, combined with the physical play she's endured, may have been the final straw for Clark. While she's been the face of the WNBA's growth, she's also become its most controversial figure, largely due to factors beyond her control. From Alyssa Thomas's public accusations to other players using racial tensions to stir controversy, Clark is caught in a political and racial firestorm that could be pushing her to leave the league altogether. In her press conference, Clark didn't directly address the racial allegations, but she made it clear she's had enough. "I need a reset. I need to get away from all of this," she said. Many speculate that this reset could involve a move to Europe, where she could focus on her game without the external pressures that have consumed her WNBA experience.
Basketball was something I absolutely loved to do, but there was a lot of other things I had to have done in my life, whether it was school, whether it was, emptying the dishwasher or taking out the trash. I had chores, it stunk. I think it'll definitely be a little bit of an adjustment period for myself, not really, having to do that so much. I woke up yesterday and I'm I don't know what I'm gonna really do. So it's gonna be nice though. I think getting out of the spotlight and just getting to live my life and do things that I wanna do and, not have to sit and I love talking to all of you, but it's gonna be nice to not have to sit in front of a microphone.
Europe could offer Clark the chance to play in a league with a different focus and potentially a more balanced environment, free from the racial tensions that have started to define her WNBA journey. Clark's possible move to Europe isn't just a personal decision, it's a potential disaster for the WNBA. Since joining the league, Clark has transformed the Fever into a money-making machine. Attendance for Indiana games skyrocketed by 400%, ticket sales surged by 60%, and her jersey became the top seller in league history. Her games drew millions of viewers, eclipsing even matchups featuring other WNBA stars like Breanna Stewart and Aja Wilson. Clark wasn't just a player, she was the league's main attraction. Losing her would be a financial and public relations nightmare for the WNBA. With Clark considering an exit, the league is staring down the barrel of losing its biggest draw and, potentially, its new fan base. But beyond the economic impact, Clark's departure would expose the deep issues that have been festering within the WNBA. Race, politics, and the struggle for equality within a league that has long prided itself on inclusivity. Clark leaving the WNBA would be a signal that the league isn't ready to protect and nurture its top talent. It could also set a dangerous precedent for other players who feel unsupported or unfairly targeted. If the WNBA can't resolve the tension brewing within its ranks, more players may begin to look elsewhere. But for now, all eyes are on Clark. Will she pack her bags and head to Europe? If she does, it won't just be a career shift. It will be a turning point for the WNBA. What do you think? Is Caitlin Clark justified in considering a move to Europe? Let me know in the comments below.
Those guys, they're the racists when really y'all are the racists.
You got me down again.
In the wake of Caitlin Clark's playoff exit, a new scandal is shaking up the WNBA. Alyssa Thomas has been suspended following accusations of a racially motivated assault on Clark during a heated playoff game. This incident has sparked widespread debate, not only over player safety, but also over deeper issues of race within the league. Thomas claims that racial abuse from Clark's fan base has contributed to the ongoing tension, but her actions during the game are raising even more eyebrows. Let's dive into the story. In a pivotal playoff matchup between the Indiana Fever and the Connecticut Sun, emotions were already running high. Clark, fresh off a historic rookie season, was looking to cement her place as one of the WNBA's biggest stars. Meanwhile, Alyssa Thomas, a veteran of the league, was eager to lead the Sun to victory. What should have been a competitive, hard-fought game turned controversial in an instant when a physical altercation broke out. During the game, Thomas was accused of a deliberate and aggressive move toward Clark, which many labeled as a racist assault. The action resulted in an immediate uproar among fans and analysts alike. The Fever were eliminated from the playoffs, but the real story emerging from the game was the alleged racial undertone of Thomas's actions. As details emerged, WNBA officials moved quickly, suspending Alyssa Thomas. The decision was met with mixed reactions from the public. Some praised the WNBA for taking a strong stand against any behavior that could be construed as racially motivated. Others questioned the severity of the punishment, suggesting it was a hasty decision made under public pressure without full evidence. What makes this story even more complicated is that Thomas didn't just face punishment on the court. During the post-game interview, Thomas did not shy away from addressing the issue. Instead of expressing regret or reflecting on her performance, she shifted the focus to the treatment she received from fans. According to Thomas, she had been subjected to racial abuse throughout the series, particularly from Clark's fan base, which she accused of being racist.
It's unacceptable, honestly. And there's no place for it. And we've been professional throughout the whole entire thing, but I've never been called the things that I've been called on social media, and there's no place for it. You know, we come to play basketball for our job and it's fun, but we don't want to go to work every day and have social media blown up over things like that. It's uncalled for, and something needs to be done, whether it's, them checking their fans or this league checking. There's no time for it anymore.
Thomas's comments lit a firestorm in the media. In her post-game interview, she claimed that throughout her 11-year career, she had never experienced such racially charged abuse until this season. She directly pointed the finger at Clark's supporters, alleging that their admiration for the star player was laced with racial biases.
I think in my 11-year career, I've never experienced the racial comments from the Indiana Fever fan base.
Her words sparked a larger conversation about race and fandom in the WNBA. Fans and analysts alike were left wondering, is there a deeper racial tension brewing in the WNBA? Or was this simply a desperate deflection from a player trying to shift attention away from her playoff performance? This isn't the first time that Clark and Thomas have been at odds. Earlier in the season, during a regular season matchup, tensions boiled over between the two when Thomas set a hard screen that sent Clark to the floor. Though Thomas was penalized for the play, the incident added fuel to an already simmering rivalry. Clark, however, has largely stayed out of the fray. She has not responded directly to Thomas's claims or engaged in the controversy surrounding their previous encounters. Instead, she has focused on her game, letting her historic rookie season speak for itself. This has only further endeared her to her growing fan base, which includes a mix of traditional WNBA fans and newcomers drawn to her record-breaking performances. One of the most intriguing aspects of this story is the media's role in shaping public perception. Some sports pundits have accused the media of fanning the flames by amplifying Thomas's accusations without sufficient evidence.
Instagram and Twitter, these are choices we make. There's an easy way. The league doesn't have to get involved. The Indiana Fever don't have to do something to get you away from social media. Put your phone down. Don't download the apps. Don't engage.
Others argue that these conversations are long overdue, as they bring to light the challenges that Black athletes continue to face in a predominantly white-dominated fan culture. Critics of the media's handling of the situation point out that while Clark has received overwhelming praise and attention for her on-court accomplishments, there has been relatively little coverage of how race factors into her rising stardom.
Caitlin Clark is Kunta Clark. She's the actual slave that everybody else is exploiting for their benefit. Angel Reese included at the top of that list. Now Alyssa Thomas jumps in and says, let me get my piece.
This has led to further conversations about whether the WNBA, and by extension, its media partners, are doing enough to address the racial dynamics at play within the league. The suspension of Alyssa Thomas and the racial allegations have put the WNBA in a difficult position. The league must now address multiple issues: the integrity of the game, the safety of its players, and the deeper racial tensions that have been brought to the surface. With Clark out of the playoffs and Thomas suspended, the WNBA will need to navigate the fallout carefully to avoid alienating fans on either side of the debate. Moving forward, the league may need to reassess how it handles these types of incidents. Are suspensions enough, or should there be further investigations into the broader claims of racial abuse made by Thomas? And how can the WNBA foster a more inclusive environment for all its players and fans? While this story is still unfolding, it's clear that the rivalry between Caitlin Clark and Alyssa Thomas has become symbolic of larger issues within the WNBA. Their on-court clashes and off-court drama have exposed divisions within the fan base and raised questions about how race, gender, and power dynamics intersect in women's professional sports. Clark's rookie season may have ended on a sour note with the Fever's playoff exit, but her legacy is far from complete. As for Alyssa Thomas, her future in the league remains uncertain. Will she be able to recover from this scandal, or will this suspension mark a turning point in her career? Regardless of what happens next, the impact of this incident will be felt for years to come. Both Clark and Thomas are incredibly talented athletes who have helped to raise the profile of the WNBA. But as this situation proves, talent alone is not enough to navigate the complexities of fame, race, and public perception in today's world. The suspension of Alyssa Thomas for a racially charged altercation with Caitlin Clark is more than just a sports story. It's a cultural moment. It highlights the racial dynamics at play within the WNBA and forces fans and players alike to confront uncomfortable truths about fandom, privilege, and representation in women's sports. As the WNBA grapples with these issues, one thing is clear: this controversy is far from over. In the end, both Caitlin Clark and Alyssa Thomas will continue to play key roles in shaping the future of the WNBA. How the league handles their rivalry and the underlying tensions will be a defining moment not only for women's basketball, but for sports as a whole.